Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel at Skin with Ken, where we discuss all things aesthetics, tips, products, how-to for professionals and consumers alike. Today I'm going to discuss how I start each of my treatments to give the clients the most luxurious experience as possible. You want to remember, each time you have a client, whether they're a new client or returning client, you want to give them the same level of treatment each time. You never want to give them a little less. You never want to give them more because they're going to expect more each time. And if you give them less, they're going to feel like, oh, this wasn't the same feeling. I didn't get the same experience as I did the previous time. She's not doing as good as she was. Maybe it was just a one and done type of experience. It's not something I can get on a regular, consistent basis. And we want to keep the consistency the same because we want to make sure we're getting referrals and word of mouth is spreading. So this is my step-by-step on how I start each treatment. So of course we're going to greet the client, and that depends on what studio or salon or spa you're working in. The more luxurious, the more formal, so it would be their last name, Mr., Mrs., and hopefully in the consultation form before they entered your room or before you've even laid eyes on them, you ask them what their preferred pronouns are, because now we want to make sure we're being sensitive to people who may not like to be referred as what they're physically presenting as. So you may need to ask before you see them, and if you don't have the opportunity to ask them before you see them, make sure you ask them once you greet them. So I always start off with a smile and I say, hello, welcome in, my name is Ken, and you are, if I don't know their name, but I should know their name because they should be popped up on my booking app. So how I personally do it is, hello, Mrs. Susan. Hello, Mrs. Smith. Welcome in. My name is Ken, and I'll be your esthetician today, providing you your service. So that's how I would greet them. And next, I would offer them a chance to use the restroom. They may need to relieve themselves, or maybe if they're coming in for a Brazilian wax, they may need to freshen up. So I offer them that time to do so. And then, of course, I direct them and show them where the restroom is physically. So I walk them over to the restroom and then I point to it, or I'll open my hand to gesture that this is the door, you may enter here. And then I will walk them from the restroom to the treatment room that I'm in if I have the time. If the receptionist is going to bring them to the room, then I will start everything that I just described at the room. So I'll still introduce myself, I'll still offer them a chance to use the restroom, then I'll walk them to the restroom, and then once they get back to my room, then I'll offer them a drink. So we have tea, we have water with citrus without coffee. So I'll offer one of those, and then I will grab it for them. So they say yes to citrus water, I'll get the citrus water, bring it into the treatment room with them. So now they are in the room, I've directed them to the room, so I'm going to tell them where they can place their items. So I will point, show, you may place your items on this counter here or on the chair. Some of you are going to be in locations where they've already changed in the locker room, so they don't have anything on them, but you may still have some clients that may bring their phone in, or they may have a watch or a bracelet. So I will suggest them, this is where you can put your purse, your rings, bracelets, and it's a safe spot so they know it's just going to be you and I in here, and you can set your belongings here. So I also tell them how I would like them dressed based on their service. So if it's going to be a facial that includes the décolleté, I will ask them to remove from the waist up so I can work on their shoulders if they're comfortable. If not, you can leave your bra on. And then I will grab the smock. So if I'm using a smock for the treatment, I will display how I would like them to put the smock on, and I will say, please put the smock on the Velcro connected in the front, because when you're laying on your back, it will irritate your back. So make sure you Velcro it in the front. I'll ask them to remove their shoes. They may remove their socks if they'd like. Any jewelry on their wrist, fingers, and any dangling earrings, because that may all interrupt the treatment and the flow of the massages for the hand and arms. So show them where to put all those belongings, and then I will show them how to lay on the bed or describe it. So I will say, make sure you're laying on the bed with your head facing up, and you're laying all the way up to the edge of the bed where your head is right at the end of the massage bed. So they know they're gonna lay up, they know they're gonna put their shawl clip in the front so it won't irritate them, and then they're gonna lay under the cover or under the blanket, however you would like for them to lay. So we're doing that, and then of course you're gonna let them know you'll be back in when they're ready. You'll knock lightly, and then you'll open the door and ask if they're ready. You'll crack the door and ask if they're ready. If they are, you will proceed, and if they're not, you'll give them some more time to get changed. So now you, the provider, are outside the room waiting. You'll do a light, gentle knock, knock, knock. Mrs. Smith, are you ready? She'll say yes. Then you'll come in, and then I will look at them while they're laying down, and I'll ask, how's the temperature in the room? If you have a heating pad, how is the temperature of the bed? And adjust to whatever makes them more comfortable. You may need to make the room cooler. You may need to adjust the heating pad settings to make it cooler or warmer. You'll go and do that. And then once they're comfortable, I know that we're ready to begin, I will ask them to remind me of their allergies. So I have their consultation form, and maybe I may say, okay, I see here you are allergic to latex and you have a pollen allergy. Are there any more allergies I need to be aware of? And then I'll ask, are they on any other medications that's not listed here? So I see you're on prescription-based retinol. Do you have any other prescriptions you're using today that I need to know about? Have you had any recent medical procedures done in the last 6 months? Have you had any recent cosmetic treatments, lasers, injections, surgeries that have happened in the last 6 months or since the last time I've seen you? And make a note of that, because any of those things they might say may be a contraindication to the treatment you're going to provide today. So we want to make sure we are aware. And if you have a client that is on a prescription vitamin A or some other form of prescription that will affect their skin and the ingredients we may use, we want to make sure, of course, that they have stopped prior to the treatment, whether it's a week or 3 weeks, depending on the active in the level. So now we are refreshed with the consultation list, and then I will say to them, you're here today for a 60-minute signature facial, a 60-minute signature treatment. So you're reminding them what they booked and how long the service is going to be, so that you and the customer both know what is going to happen, so there's no confusion at the end. And then you will bring up the skin concerns they wrote on their consultation. You'll say, so this 60-minute signature facial will help with the dryness that you have wrote as your skin concern on your consultation. We will definitely help hydrate and moisturize the skin. I will be providing a extremely rich hydrating mask today that will help, and it will help with the appearance of the fine lines from the dullness of the skin. And then I will provide you with an aftercare routine, and I also have some treatment samples here that'll be perfect for hydrating your skin as well. So we're going to go over what the treatment was. We're going to discuss the concerns that they may have had and how the treatment is going to address those, and then finishing off with how we're going to finish it at the end of the service and what they're going to do at home. So then we're ready to begin the service. So I start mine off with saying, I am now going to begin by washing my hands. So I always wash my hands before each service, so the client knows that I am clean, my hands are clean, and then I will put on a new fresh of gloves to start every service, because I don't want to cross-contaminate anything, and I want to make sure we're being as safe as possible. So then I'll start the service. And for the facials and treatments that are going to be working with the body, I'm going to ask them to do 3 deep inhales and 3 deep exhales. And as they do an inhale, I have my hands placed on their shoulders. And when they exhale, I press down on their shoulders. This is just helping them to calm down, get into the relaxed, serene mode that I want them to be in while they're in my treatment room. And then as I begin going with the service, cleansing, massaging, each time I'm asking how the pressure is. Typically, you only need to do it once for each type of modality. So if I'm doing a cleansing, I can ask how's the pressure while I'm doing the cleanse, and then I'll adjust that for the facial massage as well, because it'll be working on the same part of the body. Now if I'm doing leg compressions, I'm going to ask again when I start the leg compression, how's the pressure on the legs, because that is something different than a facial massage or facial cleansing. So you're always asking about the pressure depending on each part of the body and the different modalities that you're using in the treatments. And one more step that I did not mention is, after I discuss the skin concerns and how the treatments will help with the skin concerns, is I remind them that they may need more than one treatment to help and to show results and fix the appearance of any other concerns. We may not be able to solve all of their concerns today, but with consistent treatments, then we should be able to address those concerns. So those are the steps that I follow for every treatment to make sure the client gets the same experience each time, make sure they're as comfortable as possible, and that they know that I am here to give them the best time and fulfill their skin concerns as best as my ability as possible. If you have any other suggestions that you would do to start your treatments, please leave them in the comments below to help other estheticians or other service providers alike. And I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you for watching.